Just to briefly introduce ourselves, I think we do two things extremely well. We conduct a lot of consumer research, probably the most consumer research with affluent consumers around the world of any brand, large or small, because we do syndicated and we do custom. And the other thing we do now is customer culture, and that's become a big centerpiece of our business. And we'll talk a little bit about that. We've been around for 10 years now, and I would say we've served several hundred luxury brands, so we're very blessed that we have a lot of knowledge about what works and what doesn't. So what is a bold customer culture? A bold customer culture to us, and I think in general, is a way of doing things, behaviors, defined by a very unique DNA, a meaningful purpose that is beyond commercial interests. And it's not to criticize, but yesterday we heard a lot about commerce, commerce, commerce. To us, it's about relationships. When you pick up your cell phone, you don't say, I think I'll pick my mobile channel device and call my mother, my sister, my lover, my friend. You do it ubiquitously. And to us, there are no channels, there is no sales, there is no service. There's only relationship building or the lack thereof. So we expect to see terms like sales and service and channels and even commerce become fairly obsolete because they mean nothing to consumers. What really matters is relationship building. And so the foundation of a bold customer culture is your relationship building values as a brand, the standards, that is the customer journey, and to seek to improve the lives and experiences of everyone, the employees, the customers, your partners as well, but also society at large. This slide basically tells you what we believe and have seen are the best practices of companies in terms of building a culture. Yeah, at the centerpiece is a meaningful purpose, and that's true for Zappos. But then they go and they build their relationship building values, their standards, which is essentially the customer journey. They educate and coach. They select the right people. They measure results daily. They incentivize the right behaviors, and they reinforce daily. If you look at the foundations of Ritz-Carlton, Four Seasons, Lexus, all these companies, this is what they have in common. Let me give you a more concrete example of a retailer that we worked with. When you go from left to right, you can see that when we ask the customers, what share of wallet do you give us in everything you spend in these categories during the year? The people who are transactional, essentially impersonal transactions, gave us 11% of their wallet. The people who bought on the website, 7%. Again, highly impersonal. On a multi-channel basis, it was pretty much additive. The customers who said they had a relationship with a sales professional in the store and could name that person gave us 29% share of wallet, which is intuitive, but you need to measure it. 3-to-1 versus soulless transactions. And then by using the customer culture process, we were able to move the people who were on the 11% share wallet to the 29%, and even the 29% people to 37%. Simply by using customer culture. I can't tell you that this company had a lot of technology because they didn't. They measured off of their POS system. Imagine if they had technology or were empowering their salespeople with big data, with customer propensity models, etc. So as a basic practice, this was good. It can be enhanced dramatically with technology. This is another company that whose salespeople were far from optimal. We did a customer survey before we went through a customer culture process, a customer survey afterwards for all the things they wanted to be. This was a watch and jewelry company. Respectful, trustworthy, knowledgeable. In fact, the three things that wealthy consumers tell us they want from a sales professional today: number 1, expertise; number 2, trustworthiness; and number 3, generosity. If you can achieve those, you can dramatically improve your results, and this company did. Let me show you, there's 5 case studies here of running through the customer culture process, and I'm just going to share 2. The first one is a billion-dollar global men's and women's brand. It's probably the most successful brand in the last 10 years in luxury. And we worked together with them, and what we were able to achieve was the following. They already had a nice customer retention rate because they had great products. The CEO said to us, I want a culture, a level of service, a level of experience to match my products. And that's the only way I'm going to beat my competition. We worked on it. It wasn't easy, but we did it globally. And their top customer retention rate was up 65%. The 20% of the people who give them 70% of the sales, and that's typical. It was interesting to see the numbers for Virtuoso yesterday because it's a 20/70 rule in luxury. Top customer retention up 65%. New customer retention, because they were bleeding customers, and these are very wealthy people, up 175%. The number 2, a multi-brand women's specialty retailer. The data collection rates went from 40% to 95% in less than a year. Customer retention went up 52%. The brand doubled in sales and was recently sold to a conglomerate. Now, did they execute all 7 steps of the customer culture process? No. And that is further proof that it can work even if you do it sparsely and imperfectly. But you can dramatically increase your numbers. So in summary, what I would say is that a bold customer culture, as we defined it, dramatically increases your sales and profits, but not by pursuing sales and profits, but by building and strengthening your customer relationships. Thank you. I appreciate it.